This video is brought to you by Gemmer.com, place where you can buy, sell, and trade collectibles of all kinds, uniquely for comic book fans and just lovers of pop culture in general. So go check it out, Gemmer.com, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Man, it is already February. That is something crazy to think about. If anyone's keeping up, we've already gone a whole month into 2016.
Doesn't feel like it's
scary. That's crazy, actually.
That's scary.
Second month.
I don't like it.
Scary how time works, right?
Groundhog's Days are coming.
Groundhog Day happened.
And that means we are officially 1 month away from BVS.
Mm-hmm.
We can say that it comes out next month.
We can.
Yeah.
Awesome
For the first time ever, we can say that it comes out next month. For the only time.
For the first and last
a DC
time,
movie's coming out this year, guys. Oh,
Yeah,
two,
yeah, yeah.
actually.
For the-
My God, two.
For the first time in over a year or so, we can say a DC movie's coming in a month.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being excited for DC movies. They're finally here again.
Once more.
Three
They
years
took a
later.
break.
Yep.
They took a break. They had to plan some stuff out, but now they're back.
Yeah, by the way, welcome to Superfriends episode 24?
20-something.
Is this
Yeah.
24, I think? I have some special guests with me tonight. We have Luke and Mckinnley, as always.
Hey, guys.
And we have CJ with us tonight.
I am some special guests.
Good old CJ.
CJ was on a podcast.
Oh, God.
When was the last time you were on here?
I thought you were talking about Marvelite last week. That never happened.
Oh.
I was going to say, we don't
that
really...
is officially the lost episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't need to tell anybody about that.
No, when was the last Super Friends you were on? It was not that long ago, was it?
It's been a little bit.
3 episodes, maybe?
Well, because we all pretty much took a break from the podcasting for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Actually, maybe you haven't been on since we got back into the swing of things.
Since October.
It's been.
I think he was back on
minute.
when we were in our wee baby years. He was on.
I was there.
October.
Yeah, I mean, things are picking up though now. I mean, all kinds of stuff has happened.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we had the DC special a couple weeks ago. We got all this stuff coming out. It's going to be a crazy year, I guess. But,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's going to be a crazy next 5 years, just because, and maybe
It's definitely going to start picking up.
maybe longer than
in the
that.
next couple months.
It's an exciting time.
yeah, because when you think about it, we have Deadpool. I know that's not DC, but we have Deadpool in 10 days, and then after that, another 30 days till BVS, and then we have Civil War, Apocalypse, all this stuff. It's going to be back-to-back movies. Crazy.
After BVS, we've got something like 5 weeks to Civil War. We have a dry April, and then in May May is Civil War. We got to wait till June for Apocalypse, August for Suicide Squad, November for Doctor Strange.
So
I thought
what you're
Apocalypse
saying
was
is,
in May.
Huh?
I thought Apocalypse was at the end of May or something.
I think it's the beginning of it's. Actually, you know what? It might be the end of May. It might be Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
so what you're saying is that there's going to be no movies in Memorial Day weekend.
May 27th.
May 27th. So I was close, just off by a little bit.
Well, who cares anyway about
This
Apocalypse?
is a DC
Yeah, I was
podcast.
about to say.
I can be wrong about the X-Men movie.
Hey, guys, we found the Marvelite. We found it.
I know what's great is I could have.
Where?
Yeah, you found the guy that fucked up Marvelite last week, but.
Fire.
Oh,
Was it Marvel last week?
there was,
When did that happen?
I don't know, but we
no
found
one
it.
needs to know. No one else other than
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
told you
anyways,
already.
today we actually got some pretty exciting news from Bleeding Cool.
Yep.
They dropped a bunch of exclusive stuff regarding DC Rebirth, which we know is happening. It's confirmed, but we don't really know anything about it apart from, a lot of stuff is going to happen, a lot of shakeups in terms of the line and creative teams and directions for books. And I guess, do you guys just want to break down what happened? I mean, Scott Snyder apparently is leaving Batman. Tom King might be writing Batman. Superman, Wonder Woman, a bunch of books are getting canceled. What are your guys' thoughts on all this scoop that dropped today? Bleeding Cool, man.
I feel like this might be a little unpopular considering some of the titles that are being canceled. I feel like this is a good change, though. I feel like definitely they're weeding out some of the stuff that didn't work, some of the stuff that was kind of not necessarily bad, but necessarily kind of like fat on the meat, trying to get rid of it, trying to find a new focus for their universe. Because like we said last time, it was all over the place with the DCU. Just no one knew what it was supposed to be for. And now they're dropping a bunch of titles, and they're trying to get a new direction for their focus. I think it's a good thing more than anything.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely trying to restart and get it in line with the movies. From all that I read, especially because how they're gonna have like a Trinity book dedicated to Batman, and Superman, Wonder Woman. That really leads me to believe that they're gonna start making things a lot more grounded like the movies.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's
just what I'm thinking.
I talked about it a little bit in my news video today, so I read through, I think, every article they put out about DC Rebirth. Huge props to Bleeding Cool. It sounds like they have a very legitimate source. But man, they
actually have more than one source too, like Mayimbe.
Yeah.
They have
four
they have different sources that don't know each other.
Four sources that don't know each other. But I mean, they were just dropping stuff throughout the day, left and right. And actually, when I thought it was going to stop, I had finished my script and was getting ready to record, and Nick sent me the Trinity book news, and I was like, oh, well, let's slot this in somewhere. But it was, I mean, I'm going to agree with Luke. I think it's a good thing. But my point is, I think it's really interesting to see how the DCU has played out in a way, because it's continued the time-honored tradition of this storytelling over continuity thing, has just continued the time-honored tradition of really good, critically acclaimed books not performing well with audiences. Like something like Grayson, for example, was hugely popular, might be being canceled now. Hugely popular among myself and other critics. Midnighter,
yeah, Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate,
Yeah,
Superman,
really
Wonder Woman,
big,
Batman, Superman,
critically acclaimed books, not
Starfire,
ending,
Black Canary.
not continuing, which is sad.
Well,
I'm
not sad about stuff. I'm not sad about stuff like Earth 2 Society.
No.
That's just straight trash right there.
No, yeah.
And then Starfire.
Let's keep it real here.
So.
Yeah, Starfire going back to the Teen Titans, I think, is a good thing. It was a nice that's something I agree with. It was a nice experiment, but we're gonna trim the fat on that one. And Grayson,
Black Canary, and Birds of Prey.
as much as
we didn't need we didn't need another cutesy kind of
No.
book. We already had Harley Quinn, so
as much as I love Grayson, I think it's a good thing that that's ending too, because we all knew he wasn't gonna stay a super spy forever. Although now I guess he was doing the whole Court of the Owls thing, but we all knew he was eventually gonna go back to being Nightwing. I feel like, at least.
Yeah, it lasted a good run too.
Exactly,
It's gonna be what,
absolutely.
18 issues or something?
yeah, it was decent.
And I think the way that he wrote Grayson is going to be a big reason about why Tom King is apparently going to be writing Batman. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it would have been Dick Grayson under the cowl of Batman,
No,
but
I
it's
agree.
probably going to be Bruce, because we've seen in the solicits that he's back actually now. So
I wish it
And
would
it's gonna be Scott taking over Detective. So
Yeah, so that's
Is that gonna be
that'll
Gordon
be his
Batman
new Batman
still?
book. From what I read, Scott Snyder's going to be taking over Detective Comics after he leaves Batman.
yeah,
and the guy who writes
you are correct.
Grayson.
yeah, is that going to be Gordon as Batman in the Detective run? that he's doing?
I'm
don't
going
know.
to assume no. I'm assuming after Rebirth, they're probably going to drop that whole Gordon Batman thing, to be honest.
Yeah, because nobody
Yeah.
likes that, or the Superman Truth crap that they did, and
I like the beginning of it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
I mean,
other.
the beginning was fine, but
Who's the guy that's
Nah,
taking
I
over
can actually
Superman?
agree. I don't like it anymore.
I believe Pete Tomasi.
Yes, you are correct. Getting a new writer, new creative
That'd be
teams
pretty
on a
cool.
lot of things, and a lot of things are getting new number ones. And Batman's going to be bi-weekly with Tom King,
Yep.
the hardest working man in the comic industry, writing bi-weekly.
Yeah,
Batman.
the only thing that I don't necessarily believe is true about the Bleeding Cool scoop is that they're gonna relaunch everything to number one.
I think
I feel like for certain obviously new titles are gonna be number one, but I think that they'll actually stick to the numbering and just do 53.
See, that's
So
Yeah.
on, but
that's a really interesting part of the rumor, and it's something that when I was reading through Well, they did actually say it was going to go back to number 1. I was about to say that's something when I was reading through. I didn't see them say that they had been saying it in previous articles. I didn't see them saying it in this one. But no, I remember he did say that it would be like you would hit June, and that would be like 52 would end it, and then it would be Batman Rebirth, for example, and then in July, in the back half of June, that second biweekly issue, it would be Batman number 1 all over again. But it sounds like they're still figuring things out.
Yeah, because apparently they're not even talking to their creators about some of this stuff, apparently.
the big secret.
Well, I think that's the BVS tie-in, right? There's some secret Batman v Superman tie-ins and that happened to the comics. I don't know.
I tried to look at the article, but it wouldn't let me look at it anymore, so I don't know exactly what was going on there. All I know is that they're not talking to their creators about something.
Yeah, the gist of the thing was they sat down the creators, and the creators... Apparently, this had been going on like in conversations between the DC higher-ups for like some time, and then like just a couple of weeks ago, they let the creators know, and that might be when people started tweeting out like the Rebirth image and stuff like that. You know,
from what I read, it says like another rumor states that one of the integral ideas of Rebirth depends on something in the upcoming BVS film. But that plot point is still a secret.
That's the interesting thing that they said. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's, you've got to wonder, like, what could the movie possibly inform?
Yeah, so Batman dies. Yeah, confirmed.
Batman dies.
Totally.
No, Superman's Bizarro confirmed.
But I mean, you gotta think like Rebirth.
Awesome.
I mean, do you guys have any ideas of what it could be? Because I'm like racking my brain, and I can't think of anything like that BVS could really change without like huge outcry. That would really inform the universe that much.
Maybe it just depend on how people view it, if they like it or not.
Yeah. I actually don't. I have no idea what the thing is.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna go more in lines with the movies. If they don't like the movies, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I wonder.
But they're gonna still switch it back. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like a certain thing in BVS or if it was just like the direction that the cinematic universe is going in. Like maybe they're waiting to see how people react to BVS before they decide on what to actually do with their comics. Because they want it to align. They want some stuff to align, I guess, a little bit with the cinematic stuff, kind of like what Marvel's doing.
Yeah. And I understand that. I agree with that in a way. I think it's a good way to ease new readers in, because that's the goal of like the comic book movies. Is you're sitting there as a comic executive, praying, hoping against hope that people will pick up a comic book because of that movie. But I just can't figure anything out. Like I can't think of what it would honestly be, because they said it's an integral part. So that to me says it's something that, has to be a big, thing that the movie's going to change, and it has to be something that's going to kick this off. So it's going to decide the fate of the solo Doomsday book.
Oh, totally. Didn't that book get canceled a long time ago?
No, Scott Lobdell's Doomed comic that got canceled, and now he's living in a house made out of all the unsold trades of it.
I think I'm behind like a couple issues, but from what I read, I honestly did enjoy it. But I'm not surprised y'all don't. But
it was doomed. I mean, come on.
I get it. But
can we have a moment of silence?
Maybe another thing that could be the deciding factor is whether they're gonna go New 52 versus pre-New 52. Maybe they'll bring all that back.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was actually another big point of his book, Bleeding Cool's scoop, that they were saying that the new JSA book is actually going to be all characters from the old universe, which makes sense because the new Titans book is supposed to do that too. They're just going to like kind of retcon things and be like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Well, I mean, thank God. I think actually Josh was really pissed about the Damian Wayne leading the Teen Titans thing. He was in that group chat, like those two messages, I could tell that he wanted to type more, but he did not. He restrained himself, other than saying that he needs to slap Dan Didio with a brick.
But
he had every right.
Damian leading the Titans is better than Tim, though.
I like Damian, but I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he's a team player. Honestly,
Damian is deemed a leader due to DC Animated.
How is Damian still in Titans and Jason Todd got kicked out a long time ago?
Because there's an animated movie.
Damian is
makes sense. Like Damian totally doesn't fit in. Like
I'm
that.
a Titan now.
He's a popular character among new readers. Is why.
Yeah, but just keep his solo book. He totally doesn't need them. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think he fits there. He fits with the Bat family because he's practically by himself, and Bruce.
He's the
But
only
no
like
McKinley,
actual.
He's a Titan now.
He's the only actual blood member of the Bat family too. So
Yeah. So, like, he belongs
And
there.
he's the
but
most
Titans
distant.
just feels off to me.
No, and it's
Even when he was there back before New 52 started, like it was okay,
yeah.
but definitely not leadership
No,
material.
I agree with Nick when he was saying that the best ever writing for Damian was when he was Robin and Dick Grayson was Batman. But
Grant Morrison.
Grant
Grant
man.
Morrison represent.
Sad face.
I liked him when whoever was writing Batman and Robin at the beginning. I enjoyed that Damian a little bit.
I don't remember who wrote him whenever he interacted with Stephanie, but those were always my favorite Damian moments.
Oh well, pour one out. Moment of silence for all the titles we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Sarah McLachlan music plays.
No, the little
Yeah.
what's it called? Violin, tiny violin.
Yeah,
spread.
sad violin.
The world's smallest violin.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. Are you guys excited for it?
Most definitely.
For Rebirth,
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
I definitely want to actually, read more DC books now because I hardly read anything now. I have to review.
I would like to get back and read Batman again. I would very
Yes.
much like to enjoy Batman again.
When I'm not
'cause
busy with life, I will
still,
catch up.
I still read the current Batman. Just it's not good.
Well, I'm just interested in a Tom King Batman. That's what I'm really excited about.
I actually really hope, because for a while we've kind of gotten this Batman that's caught up in things bigger than himself, like these conspiracy. Like I think the great thing about Snyder's early Batman was it was kind of like you felt like Batman was this, small fish in a big pond, and even though that big pond was just Gotham City with the Court of the Owl stuff and the death of the family, and eventually he kind of got swept up, into things that were, more like fantastical and fanciful, and in a way, I guess I could say, because Scott Snyder does write some. He's a good writer.
But then he writes awful endings, like the end of Court of Owls with that whole twist of his brother. That was just terrible.
I enjoy
But
it.
I mean, I think
And
I'm really excited for
Death
Tom.
of the Family being awful.
I enjoy it.
I'm really excited for Tom King's because I feel like that'll take it back to like Batman is one man without superpowers, armed with only massive wealth and intelligence and knowledge of 167 forms of combat, in a city full of criminals that could very well kill him. And I feel like from what we've seen of Grayson, it's not like Batman's going to walk into a room of thugs and take everyone out. It's not like Grayson is going to just stroll into a room of armed thugs and take everyone out.
Yeah, he'll be the Dark Avenger again.
Yeah.
Well, it's all hypothetical too. We don't know if Tom King's confirmed it. I mean, honestly, I thought it was gonna be Brian Azzarello taking over Batman.
Yes, same here.
But it'll be interesting also to see who's the artist for the new Batman title, because Greg Capullo's leaving to do something with Image for a little while.
For some reason, I heard the name Mark Silvestri being thrown around. I don't know if he would actually
he's
come
doing
on to
something
DC,
with, No, he's doing something with Mark Millar, the goat licker.
I'm curious how Scott Snyder's going to take the direction of the Detective Comics. Like, is it going to be written like Batman, or is it still going to be like how it is
terrible,
right now? Yeah. Well, like, not necessarily that. Just how is he going to write it? Is it?
Yeah, I think he's all but.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I think he's all but confirmed that his first thing would be a Two-Face story, which, I mean, we all remember how he described Two-Face, and it's not exactly what we would have done, but, who knows? It could be nice, but, yeah, Rebirth is cool. I like the idea.
Yeah, alright, we gotta move on. We gotta get on to the next topic.
Birth of the Re.
Got a couple more
we
things to talk
gotta
about.
quickly speed through the next couple topics. Alright, so we'll briefly just cover this. This happened last week, I believe. Justice League Action was announced for Cartoon Network, and Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill will be returning to voice, I'm assuming, the Joker and Batman and other characters. It's going to be an 11-minute format episodes, and I think it's going to be kind of like Brave and the Bold-esque, where different characters come in and out of episodes. A rotating cast of characters and stuff.
Right.
So.
That kind of sounds like what it's going to be.
I'll give it a shot. I'm looking forward to it. But what do you
Yeah.
guys think about it?
cautiously optimistic. I'm not extremely excited about the 11-minute format, but if it is like Brave and the Bold, yeah, I'm all for it because I freaking love Brave and the Bold.
It's supposed to be like 3 11-minute episodes. I mean, yeah,
Is it?
yeah. It's supposed to be a 30-minute time slot.
No, so that's
Oh,
that's
okay.
It's not gonna be-
two
yeah.
11-minute parts.
Two
'Cause you get,
yeah.
you know...
Oh, I was about
commercial
to
breaks and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, not 3. So yeah,
Well, it'll be
yeah.
the old Justice League show did that too, right? It was split in 2 episodes.
Well, yeah, but like
They
they're
had-
if
long
I remember,
episodes.
well, if I remember, the
Two-part.
original Justice League show was like it was a 22-minute thing, but like every
It's
single,
two-part, yeah.
but every single story was like 2-part episodes. So basically, it would be like an hour-long block of a single story.
Yeah. But I mean, you know,
Essentially.
Yeah,
I
think it could work.
I'm looking forward to it. I think the 11-minute option is, you know, partially motivated by, you know, as much as we old heads loved
Attention
Teen
span.
Titans and Young Justice, Teen Titans Go is finding some success with a younger audience, and I feel like that's the way they're going to go with Justice League Action. They're definitely going to try and root it towards a younger audience, but I really hope that they just aim a little bit, like, you've already got the demographic covered with Teen Titans Go, that kind of like, you know, maybe like 7 to 10-year-old bracket, and then maybe you can go on and do the like 11 to 14 with
The 7 to 49-year-old
7 to
bracket.
49, yeah. You
I
get
mean,
your,
they've got a bunch of old DCAU veterans on there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
obviously
I'm sure they're going to be doing some interesting stuff.
I mean, Mark
but-
Hamill kind of said on Twitter that it is going to be lighter. He specifically, but you don't know how light. The tweet gives us a little hint towards the tone when he said it was going to be lighter, but he said it was going to be lighter than the Arkham series. So that's, you know, that could be literally like, you know,
could
pretty
be
much like the
anything.
range of PG-13 to G.
Well, good, because I can't see anything in those games. I mean, they're so dark.
That may just be a
It's like-
problem with your TV, but
Seriously.
You need those
Let's turn the
glasses,
contrast
the
up on that.
gaming glasses. What the
Yeah,
Gunners?
I need to get sponsored by Gunnar. Yeah, let's get the optics.
It's
You
like,
just want,
hey,
like,
welcome to the
gamer
Super
gear.
Friends podcast, sponsored by Gunnar. You can't see our faces, just take us at our word that
Don't
we're
forget
wearing them.
Gemmer, guys.
Yeah, we're also
Yeah,
this
I'm
episode
wearing
brought to you by
them
Gemmer.
right
But no, I'm looking for.
Cha-ching.
If I had to bet, I'm gonna say that it's a little more serious than Teen Titans Go, but it's not, you know, gonna reach the levels of some of the episodes of Justice League where they put you in the feels, in a feels coma. But
right.
I think another thing that you can take into account here is that they obviously know that they have to have an animated product for younger audiences, because it seems like a lot of their animated films are geared more towards adults, so they have to have that balance. You know, they have to have the
Yeah.
show for the kids. But I think it'll be in between. I think there'll be a middle ground between, you know, kid audience, adult audience, or older adult audience. So
Yeah. Like it. You know what? Exactly like Brave and the Bold.
yeah.
And I think, you know, I agree with you on the rotating cast thing, because you look at that first poster, and it's just got like a ton of people in the background, just kind of their silhouettes from, I mean, folks that are more mainstream, like Flash and Cyborg and
I actually saw Shazam. on
Green
there,
Lantern.
too.
Shazam's on there. But then to people like, you could see like Blue Beetle, like the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle, and John Constantine in the background.
Yeah.
I think I
John
actually saw
Constantine.
Question on there too.
Yeah, there's a ton of folks on that thing, so it definitely looks like it's going to be a rotating cast type show.
Shazam,
Shazam.
I saw.
Aquaman,
I
Zatanna.
I saw my baby girl Zatanna, so I'm good.
And they confirmed that Dietrich Bader, I think, is going to be playing Booster Gold, they
Booster
said.
Gold.
And then James
Yay.
Woods is going to be playing Lex Luthor, which is another good thing, I think.
It is pretty good.
As much as I dislike James Woods as a person, I think it's going to be interesting. But what's funny is when I was doing research for that news video, James Woods confirmed this show like 3 months ago. And it just flew under the radar.
Wasn't
Really?
the show has been confirmed for a while. That there was the picture. I
Oh, the
remember
poster,
from month,
the
yeah, the
JSA
poster.
poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just didn't have the title of the show.
And
but
people
it's been
thought it was going to
confirmed.
be like Justice Society of
Let me
America.
see if I
like
can
that's-
find the tweet.
Oh,
Cause
no, actually, no. It wasn't it? No, it was
We
JLA.
thought it was,
It
yeah,
was
we thought it was a Justice League show.
Yeah, it
We
was
just didn't have
JLA,
any confirmation
so,
on
yeah.
the name.
Justice League of America. Yeah.
1 second. I'm going to try and find the tweet, but we might have to move on before I do.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
final thoughts. I think we're all in agreement that we're cautiously optimistic, and it could be a pretty fun show to see. So.
Absolutely.
So yeah, moving on. The next topic here is, it's not necessarily news, so to speak, but it's a pretty cool story that well, I guess not cool for some people, but it is an interesting look at a what could have been video game based on the Dark Knight movie of 2008. Apparently this footage has surfaced along with like a freaking documentary about the making of this game. From Pandemic Studios or Pandemic Games that were developing this game, and it looked actually really cool. What do you guys think about this?
I liked it a lot.
It could have, if it was successful, it could have been pre-Arkham great.
Well, it's interesting because you kind of like in watching this video, and if we can put a link in the description to this podcast so people can watch it. Oh yeah,
definitely. We'll link that. You can check it out.
It's it's a very informative, and I honestly was gonna click on it, and I do this a lot with videos. Like I'll click and then I'll click away if I get bored. I literally stayed for the entirety of this video because I was like, wow, like when you look at the stuff that they were talking about, and it was 2008, so we weren't in the age of super hyper realistic games and stuff like that, and open world games were a thing, but they weren't really as common as they are now. Like to see the things they're talking about, it really kind of looks like they not only kind of informed the Arkham City as far as like an open, or the Arkham series I should say, as far as like an open world like you're playing in Gotham type thing. Some of the stuff they were talking about, like advanced graphics engines, automatically, randomized, a system to randomize the look of CPUs, like whenever they're generated.
The gliding mechanics.
Yeah, the gliding mechanics, the lighting engine. It was all very like next gen in a way, and it's
very ambitious for a movie time.
Ambitious for
trying to get ahead of the game.
2008, and I think that's what ultimately killed it.
That open world Spider-Man 2 game that was based on the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like the old Sam Raimi
one of the,
Spider-Man.
That changed everything.
Probably the best Spider-Man game, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was a cool game.
Of its time, should probably stress that. I've played it very recently.
Well,
it doesn't age well, but
well, if you play Ultimate Spider-Man, that aged pretty well.
Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, perfected it, and I think it doesn't get recognized enough for doing that. But anyway, talking about Batman.
Extra time too, yeah.
You shut up.
Did you guys ever play the Batman Begins video game, or?
I played a demo of it when I was younger, but nothing beyond that.
I never played it.
Oh, the Batman Begins
game?
Yeah.
Oh, I played it.
Yeah, I actually played that as a kid.
I mean, it's so far
was
back.
that any good, or?
It wasn't bad, actually. It wasn't groundbreaking or anything, but it was better than the average tie-in game, honestly.
It's so far back, and you're right, it's better than the average tie-in game. Because it was literally, that was 2005. I was in 5th grade. I actually think I went to a Blockbuster and rented it. Back when you did that, because I didn't want to buy it. So I rented it.
Right,
GameCube or PS2?
Actually, I think I had it for...
Xbox?
I'm trying to remember if I rented it for the Xbox or... Yeah, no, I had an Xbox at that point because I had a GameCube before the Xbox. But it was pretty good. Like there was this really the thing that stuck with me is and they made this such a huge thing in the game, and it wasn't such a huge thing in the movie. Like when you had this option to grab and interrogate henchmen for clues or something like that, or sometimes it was mission required, and you would would look like Batman would look terrifying, and in the movie it was how he looked to people that were on the fear gas, and it was you did it over and over in the game tons of times, and I was like, man, this is really creepy. And then when I finally watched the movie, I was like, what the hell, Batman did this once. They took that one thing and made it a whole big thing, and it was a pretty good game. The combat was fun, but it was linear, as the documentary says. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was very much like a low-tech Splinter Cell. I think I can say safely.
That's definitely a good way to describe it. I mean, it's back in the day when linear games weren't as shat upon as they are now, but it was definitely looking back, it's man, that was. It probably does not age well, but at the time it was fun to play.
Yeah.
For an 11-year-old.
I really remember from that game is I thought that was the best Bale Batman voice that he ever had.
And it's
was in that game.
But what's funny is you watch this documentary, and I had no idea. Like for this game, for the Batman Begins game, you had pretty much the entire cast voicing themselves. Like Bale voiced Batman, Morgan Freeman voiced Lucius Fox. It's pretty crazy.
Who's the girl? Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes
came back.
Yeah, Katie Holmes.
The one true Rachel.
The one true Rachel.
The one that truly
Dude, she was better than whatever.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I mean,
yeah.
if I could be honest, they were pretty much on the same level for me. But I mean,
They're
that
both insufferable.
I never liked Katie Holmes. Yeah, well, no, I never liked whatever the stupid character's name was. Rachel Dawes.
Jumping back though to the Dark Knight failed game, it was actually really cool. The coolest thing to me was the fact that they started developing it, I think, like a year before they even had any concept art from the actual movie. So they just kind of went off on their own and just kind of designed all this stuff, like the Joker goons and all that. All that concept art that they made themselves is like really cool, actually.
That Heath Ledger character model was amazing.
Yeah, he had like short hair.
Good,
it was like,
too.
Well, that was.
Really
I think that's
that was
what they were talking about was actually that's not concept art that they made themselves. That's concept art that was the first design for the Joker that the studio came up with, and that's what they were talking about in that document. There's a scene, and that's the part that cracked me up. Like I was sitting here like laughing with my morning coffee. That was the first piece of concept art that they ever got from the studio, and it was this Joker concept, and he didn't have the white on, and it was essentially like he had this eye black. And like no eyebrows, but with the scars, but none of that face makeup that made him look like, you know, the more iconic look of the Joker now. And they tell the story that like one of the higher ups was just like, you know, you just heard screaming, and then you walked into the office and he was looking at that concept art picture, and it wasn't even like really good screaming to hear them tell the story. But it's definitely go check that documentary out if you get the chance.
Yeah. So final thoughts. Would you guys have liked to play this Dark Knight game if it had been finalized?
Oh hell yeah.
At the end of the day, I'll play any Batman game, good or bad.
I'll play anything.
11-year-old me really enjoyed the Batman Begins game. I think 14-year-old me really would have enjoyed the Dark Knight game.
Yeah.
And little boy Luke really liked Batman Dark Tomorrow, and he learned from his mistakes later on.
What about the Batman and Robin game? You guys like that one?
You're talking about the one that looked like Mortal Kombat too?
Yeah, but you could play as Robin though in the game. That was the cool part.
Yeah, you talking about? He didn't know whether he was Robin or Nightwing. His suit didn't know.
Yeah.
The nipples knew, but his suit did not know.
The nipples knew. That's one for the quote book.
Oh wow. Yeah, so I guess moving on to the final portion of the episode, TV time. We got a lot of things we got to quickly jump through here. Just little news nuggets, I guess you can say. The first one, Jonah Hex, the actor, posted a picture of himself like in his costume, I guess, or like looking pretty muscular. He's going to be on Legends, I think, episode 11. And
yes.
They finished shooting the episode today, actually. So that is today, as if we're recording Tuesday, the February 2nd. I don't know, 20 something. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool to see. Are you guys hyped for Jonah Hex on Legends? I mean,
you saw that little picture, right? The little wanted poster that they have on.
Yeah.
That looks. I like if that's what he's gonna be looking like. I'm digging it.
They gotta give him the eyeball too.
Okay, well then looking at the picture, it doesn't look like he's gonna have it exact, but he's gonna have something.
No,
He's
yeah.
gonna have
It definitely looks droopy at the very least.
It looks
looks
more
like he
like
got
a
lazy
facial
eye.
burn, type
Yeah.
thing. But
The El Diablo.
yeah,
I really
whatever
hope.
they called it.
Well, I really hope they go further out with it than the freaking movie, because in that it literally looked like he just had a shaving cut.
yeah. That was pretty bad. And I think what's worse is I think they made that joke in the movie. It's like, what happened to your face?
No,
It's
I know,
cut
that-
myself shaving.
And then it's like, but that's really all it looks like.
Yeah,
though.
no, exactly. It would have worked if he actually looked, uglier than sin, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm just like, that would be a painful ass like shaving cut.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
You-
I can't even imagine like someone like catching a video footage for reaction, like number one hit. Like,
You took that razor
YouTuber-
and meant to do some damage.
Yeah.
Jonah Hex,
Jonah Hex,
was the
dude,
first emo
he's
of
coming.
the Wild West.
Yeehaw.
Ugh.
But
Well, I mean, we're talking about
Yeah,
this
interesting.
character teaser here. Do we want to talk about the other teasers for the characters at this point, or do we want to save that for a little bit later on?
Yeah, I guess we can. The CW and Legends and like DC, they've been kind of they first released like an image with all these different little, like, I guess they're kind of like I don't know how you can describe, like a little memento piece or something, like describing this character. And basically they every day, well, not today, but every day they've been releasing, you know, what that character is or what that piece, like what character that goes to. And it's pretty cool because you got one that is connected to the android Hourman, Ma Henkel's helmet, the Sandman's mask, and Sergeant Rock's helmet. So that's pretty awesome, and I guess that means that they're all going to be on an episode of Legends, like this season. So
it definitely seems to be
we
what
can
they're teasing.
Yeah, so we can expect the losers in the haunted tank in an episode. Hopefully.
Crisis.
Yeah, it's awesome. So they're gonna have Red Tornado on 2 shows then, right? Like Supergirl and
We'll see.
And I'm sure that this version will be better.
Hopefully he won't
So be
look
a
like
female.
the Vision.
He won't
And
look
she
like
won't look like a
Red
slab
Tornado.
of bacon.
yeah.
But, no, I'm really excited for all these. These are really cool Golden Age characters that I'm glad that we're going to get to see. I'm still very convinced that owl is Dr. Midnight myself.
Yeah.
That'd be
They
really
haven't
tight.
revealed that one yet, though.
To be fair,
Yeah.
these technically aren't the first time we've seen them. I'm pretty sure all those guys were on Smallville at some point.
I'm sure
They had the
were
entire
referenced
JSA on
Smallville.
Were they? Were
The
they all on
entire
Smallville?
JSA was on
Small-
there.
Sergeant Rock was on
remember-
Smallville too.
Sergeant who?
Sergeant Rock, the
Of the
character.
losers, man.
Easy company.
Guy doesn't ring a bell. Totally might have been.
I think this is his debut on TV or live action or whatever.
That might be great. You know,
So
that's like my favorite part of it. Is it's these guys that are like not even D-list, man. They're E-list. They're beyond
No,
that.
he
Well,
totally wasn't on there.
Sergeant Rock
yeah, he
is
definitely
Sergeant
on
Rock
there.
is like easy company, so he is E-list. But you know, everybody is, and it's good to see them kind of reveling in that, because that's what I really, and I really hope they don't take it and try to go like too super serious. It doesn't seem like they're going to do that from what I've seen of Legends of Tomorrow so far. It seems like it's probably going to be a little more slapstick anyways, but that's what I'm hoping for at least.
right.
Sergeant Rock.
I mean, we know this much, that the movies aren't going to use these characters, so
Yeah.
they're safe on CW.
They're safe.
You
For
know,
now.
you know what would be,
For now.
what would be cool? That people have been wanting Green Lantern to be in the CW universe, and
Alan
they've
Scott.
teased Hal Jordan and all that. That why don't they just do Alan Scott Green Lantern?
That'd be tight.
I was thinking that would be really cool if they did that.
They could go the Magic route, or they could go the New 52 route.
Maybe Dean
Or they're both-
Ambroyer is
yeah,
actually
they
playing
bring in
Alan
the-
Scott.
I would
green.
prefer the old Alan Scott if they're gonna do like if they're bringing all these older characters in from the old JSA. Why don't they just do the old Alan Scott?
Well, you could
That would
still
be
do the,
They could still do a mix.
you could do. I mean, if it's personal preference, I understand that, but I think the way they've changed Alan Scott's powers, for Earth 2, I think you could definitely do that Alan Scott in the CW verse and make the argument that though he is called a Green Lantern, he is not like, of the Green Lantern core. It's a completely different thing. And for that matter, you might be able to still use
Starheart, I think.
you might be able to still use Solomon Grundy. And hell, you could even hire me now, CW, because I'm going to throw this at you and you're going to love it. You could even make a joke about it. It's like, what do you call yourself? The Green Lantern. It's like, that's taken. But
Yeah.
winner.
No, you know what?
just
I'm
like
the-
Oracle.
Yeah.
It's taken.
That was what I was going
I'm the Green Guardsman due to copyright
for.
brand.
Ah.
Ugh.
Yeah, Alan Scott would be awesome to see though, for sure. And again, they would never use him in a movie.
No.
I'm assuming.
I mean, hey,
they would use Hal and
I was joking
Guy and all
earlier.
that.
I mean, they could maybe Dean Ambroyer is playing Alan Scott. I mean, he doesn't necessarily look too much like Hal Jordan.
Dan Amboyer.
Dan Ambroyer.
Alan Scott.
Wait, Dean Amboyer? What?
I don't know, man.
Who's that?
I've been drinking.
I know who he is, and I totally think he is. Just gonna throw it out there.
Also, another cool thing about Legends, uh, Stephen Amell confirmed that he's going to be on an episode, but he's going to look like the Dark Knight Returns version of
missing
Oliver
an
Queen,
arm.
which is awesome.
That is really cool. That's a nice little reference that they're gonna do.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
I like
thing.
how
So
he
that's
was driving and
episode
videoing.
6, actually.
That's my I love that they did that, and I talked about it in the news video. Sadly got flagged, but I can't wait to see what we get from like future Barry too. If this is the truth, which it's confirmed. It's coming from Entertainment Weekly, so I doubt they'd publish it if it wasn't true.
Dude.
But
If it's
Right.
future Flash, it could be Wally.
it could be Wally. Actually, I think that might.
I would-
It's like, what happened to the other Flash? Didn't you see that newspaper in the first episode?
Plot
Dude
twist.
gone.
Bart.
Or Bart, yeah.
I would
Bart.
hope it's Wally, but Bart's his Kid Flash or something.
Yeah.
I just want to see Kid Flash in some capacity.
And also, we're confirmed to see a version of Connor Hawke, too, in the
Yes.
show. Like an older Connor Hawke.
Confirmed.
And he's supposed to not be the son of Oliver Queen.
Yeah, it's going to be like
and
an Earth
what's her
2
name?
Connor Hawke or something. I don't know.
Yeah, where Connor
It,
Hawke
it'll probably be
was-
the son of Oliver, just not Sandra Hawke from the comics
Yeah.
as the mom.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's that. I mean, I could see them.
But yeah.
I mean, I can't really see them doing the Earth 2 thing just because I think the main thing about Earth 2 Connor Hawke was that he's like, oh man, he's Red Arrow, and then he dies, and later Oliver's like, I'm gonna become the Green Arrow for you, buddy. So it's more like I'm gonna take up the mantle because you're so inspiring. But if that's a shitty
Right.
explanation, come at me. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but bottom line, Legends is going to be awesome this season. I can't wait to see all these different characters. And like I said I think we talked about this last episode of Super Friends, like the first pilot, episode of Legends, a 2-parter. It was cool, but they didn't really show their full potential of the show because they just went back to the 70s, and it's like we've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the whole futuristic stuff, like the alternate reality stuff, or going way back into the past, like the Wild West.
That'd be really cool.
With Jonah Hex.
Yeah,
that
that's
kind
what
of
they're
stuff.
gonna do.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun season to watch.
Absolutely.
And I
for
hope
sure.
season 2 has that mystical roster that they were teasing, like Constantine and all those characters. That'd be awesome too.
Justice League Dark. What?
There
Yes,
you go.
yes.
I
Well,
still
they're gonna
won't
have to do
believe
it
that
movie's
movie's happening.
Can I
until
tie in
it's
like
in
another?
theaters.
Del Toro directs an episode of Legends.
Do you guys mind if I throw CW
yeah.
another free joke that they can use?
Do it.
For free. For that mystical roster, guarantee you, first episode they come out, Rip Hunter's like, you're my second team to do this, and the first time they go out there, somebody, probably Felicity, because bad writing.
you myths.
Probably Felicity goes, it's like, man, you guys are like some kind of League of Dark Justice. There you
Oh,
go.
God.
Free CW writing.
Aw.
There you go.
Aw.
Hey, and they'd use it. They'd use it too.
Totally would.
That's their caliber. You nailed it on the head.
Dude,
Thank you. Thank you.
the
Very proud.
Mark Guggenheim tweeted out, the official showrunner of Arrow tweeted out saying, catch next week's episode where Felicity and her friends fight the calculator.
Yep.
So, I mean, come on, man. This is...
They're oh my
Even
God.
during today's episode of Flash, who's the best hacker? Felicity Smoke.
You've gotta look at the demographics. That explains it all.
Yeah.
The demographics for who the CW is and why they exist as a network will explain everything.
Yeah.
Completely makes sense. I honestly, I don't hate Felicity either, but I just hate. Really, I hate Guggenheim. That's who I hate.
I hate.
Well, and
Felicity.
on that note, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
That is the thing we gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here. Yeah. No, but seriously though, that has wrapped up Super Friends episode 24. I don't think we have really anything other to talk about. I mean,
Well,
Jada Pinkett is coming
Yeah,
back
she's
to
back.
Gotham, but who cares about that
Nope.
anyway? I mean, no one
Nope.
watches Gotham, so
I watch it. I like it. Support me. And the channel.
But yeah, anyways, that has wrapped up the episode. Thank you guys again. Thanks CJ for coming on.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Joining this episode. And yeah, any final thoughts on the?
Be sure to leave your questions in the comment section down below.
Yeah.
Hashtag
If you do have
Superfriends.
questions, yeah, just leave them down in the comments, and maybe we'll answer them.
Yeah, one of these
next week.
days.
Actually, leave them.
Oh,
I remember we actually did get like a question or two, and we never answered them. I feel so bad about that.
We did.
I mean,
It was like
we
2
got to go
months
back.
ago.
We're bringing
If we
them-
get them,
bringing it up next
I
week.
promise you, I will be. If you guys don't mind, I'll be on the next episode. I will do all the research for this. I will find every question that anybody has ever asked on this podcast, and I will bring them to you.
We definitely answered one. It was someone asking if they could ever.
Yeah, we've
be allowed
answered
on
one
here.
or two.
And Nick was like, "No."
Sorry.
Yeah, I gave a one word. I was like, no. Okay, moving on.
And see, that's why
before
nobody's.
we go,
that's why nobody's asked questions again.
That Dark Knight video is on some dude's channel called Liam Robertson. He does stuff for Did You Know Gaming. Go check him out so you can get the full story on that.
Oh yeah, I will leave a link to that Dark Knight video game documentary in the description below. Thank you guys again for watching, and we will be back next week.
Peace.
Adios.